All right, we're going to keep working with solving equations. So we need to identify our terms that have variables and those that are constants. If it's easier for you to do that by hand, that's fine. But what I do is to identify with squares and circles or boxes and bubbles. So anything that has a variable, I put a box around, including the sign. And anything that's a constant, so it doesn't have a variable, I put a circle or a bubble around, including the sign. So as I'm going through this, I'm going to look at negative 15. That is a constant. It doesn't have any variables with it. Make sure you include that sign. It is extremely important. On the other side of the equal sign, we have negative 3x. That has a variable, so that gets a box. And then we have negative 2x, which also has a variable, so that gets a box. So since we have identified all of our variables and constants, we need to go ahead and combine like terms. In this situation, we have terms that are the same on the same side of the equal sign. So we're going to do exactly what it tells us to do. So this is the same as saying negative 3 minus 2. We're just kind of getting rid of those x's for the moment, or that variable for the moment. So negative 3 minus 2 gives us negative 5. So I'm going to write negative 5x below that. I'm going to copy down what I haven't touched, and I'm going to go ahead and put those back in their circles and squares. So now that I've done that, I can see that on both sides of the equal sign, I have one side that is dedicated to our constants, or the ones in circles, and I have the other side which just has variables, which is the squares. So this is where we get to do my final and favorite step, which is to divide by everything in front of the variable. So that's going to be by negative 5. So the negative 5 cancels out on the side with the variable, and we're going to do negative 15 divided by negative 5 on a calculator. When we do this, we get the answer of positive 3. Remember that a negative and a negative, when working with multiplying and dividing, gives you a positive. So negative 3 is equal to the value for x. Now understand that this is normally backwards from how we see it, so don't let that mess you up. The process is still the same, it's just reversed. You can write this as 3 equals x, you can write this as 3, you can write it as x equals 3. It's not going to change your answer or mark it incorrect. These are how you could write your answers on the Google Forms. Again, it's always easier to just write the number because that's guaranteed to get it right. The code word for this assignment is BOAT, B-O-A-T, BOAT. I hope this helps.